food can save a country, but it can also bring down a country. He fed 1.4 billion people in China with just one rice plant. He dreamed of changing the world with a single seed. He was hailed as the father of hybrid rice. However, he was just a dreamer among farmers. He was the father of hybrid rice in China, Yuan Longping. In 1930, Yuan Longping was born into a scholarly family in Beijing. His childhood was carefree. His love for this land beneath his feet originated from his mother. In that tumultuous era of social unrest, Yuan Longping, at a young age, roamed around with his parents. His mother would always tell him stories of the glorious history of China spanning 5,000 years. From then on, the seed of patriotism had deeply rooted in Yuan Longping's heart. In 1950, Yuan Longping entered the Department of Agronomy at Southwest Agricultural College to study. During his studies, he realized the impact of crops on a country. One wheat plant could lift a country up, or bring it down. From then on, studying agriculture to serve the country became Yuan Longping's lifelong dream. In 1959, a nationwide famine broke out. Natural disasters such as locust plagues and floods followed one after another. This disaster lasted for 3 years. During this once-in-a-century disaster, numerous farmlands were devastated. Most rice crops were covered by disasters. Wheat was gone. Food was gone. Even livestock starved to death one after another. Millions of people suffered from famine. Hundreds of thousands died on the streets. Many people couldn't even eat tree roots. They could only pick up soil to eat. At this time, Yuan Longping was teaching at an agricultural school in Hunan. He saw people starving to death on the streets every day. This scene undoubtedly became the most unforgettable one in Yuan Longping's life. Yuan Longping was well aware of this situation. One disaster would lead to another. Natural disasters would not stop until the famine stopped. The famine would not stop until there were no more famished people. Every day, countless old and young people would starve to death because they couldn't eat. At this time, Yuan Longping suddenly made up his mind. He wanted to serve the people, to make those who couldn't eat have enough to eat. He plunged into the fields day and night cultivating rice. In 1960, Yuan Longping discovered a different type of rice among thousands of rice plants in the fields. He saw that the grains of this rice plant were much more plump than others. This unexpected discovery thrilled Yuan Longping. He regarded this rice plant as a treasure. He took good care of it as if it were a precious treasure every day. The next year, Yuan Longping used the seeds from this rice plant as a new starting point. With the hope of a bountiful harvest, he began to cultivate these special rice plants. However, the greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment. The rice plants produced by these seeds were uneven in height. Some were tall, some were short. This puzzled Yuan Longping. But Yuan Longping did not lose heart. He began to conduct in-depth research on the genetics of organisms. Rice is a self-pollinating plant. Yuan Longping speculated that this special rice plant might be a naturally hybrid rice plant, and the yield of this rice plant was only 1 per 1,000. To change the quality and yield of rice, Yuan Longping carried out an unprecedented experiment. He removed the male flowers of the rice plants with pistillate flowers, and conducted artificial pollination to crossbreed it with another variety. This innovative approach brought revolutionary breakthroughs to future rice breeding technology. Yuan Longping conducted experiments on the nurturing of male rice plants day and night. Hard work paid off. In a summer of 1964, in the experimental fields, Yuan Longping found a naturally male sterile plant. Through his artificial pollination, this rice plant produced hundreds of grains of rice. This was the seed of the first generation of sterile plants. In 1966, Yuan Longping published his first paper on the sterility of rice plants. As soon as the paper was released, it immediately attracted great attention and support from the National Science Commission. Yuan Longping collaborated with Li Bihu. With the support of the Science and Technology Commission, Yin Huaiqi and his 2 colleagues formed a team specializing in the research of hybrid rice. In 1991, Yuan Longping was hired by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations as the chief consultant for the development of hybrid rice internationally. He still selflessly dedicated his creations in hybrid rice to various countries. Yuan Longping's cooperation and research and technical exchanges at international rice research institutes reached as many as 30 times. He trained about 2,000 government officials and agricultural experts from over 40 developing countries. His footprints were all over India, Vietnam, Myanmar, the Philippines, Bangladesh, etc. In China, the yield of hybrid rice has been constantly setting world records. Starting from 2000, it has gone from 700 kilograms, 800 kilograms, 900 kilograms, to directly breaking through the 1,000 kilograms mark in 2014, achieving a world first. Up to now, the yield per mu of hybrid rice in China has reached 1,251.5 kilograms, breaking the world record again. It can be said that the emergence of hybrid rice fully realized China's self-sufficiency in food. 2021, Yuan Longping, the elder Yuan, passed away in Changsha, Hunan province. That day, the streets of Changsha were drenched in heavy rain, but it couldn't stop people from bidding farewell to Yuan Longping. That day, the flowers in Changsha were sold out. The whole city's flowers were used to give to Yuan Longping alone. The elder Yuan pursued his dreams all his life. He fed countless people. He was just a passerby in the world.